Okay, folks, our next guest is, well, becoming some kind of a local celebrity. And if you don't know him, he is Stanley Elnuts.
Hey man, it's great to finally meet you. I've always been a fan of the show. Yeah.
So, Stanley, I heard that you have quite a story going on here. Can you please share the story with us?
Well, why not? So, our family used to believe in this curse that we got from our no good, dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather. And basically, the curse made my life difficult. Like, for example, the shoe incident. I was accused of stealing these shoes, and I got sent to this camp where my parents believed that I was water skiing and having a blast of joy, I guess. Yeah. And really, I was out in the middle of the desert with pure sun, no clouds in that sky, so hot, and I figured out that the warden was making us dig holes because she wanted the treasure that belonged to my family. And that's why, like, before I went home, she wanted to see what was in the chest. So, that's my story.
Well, it sounds like Camp Green Lake was quite an experience. How did it affect your life?
Well, I have new friends like my buddy Hector, whose mom went missing. And he found her when we got home from Camp Green Lake.
So, Hector sounds like a really great friend. What did you do with the money in the chest?
Well, I split the money with Hector, and he found his mom with that money. And my family spent our money on a gorgeous house that is like the most pretty house I've ever seen. And I know it's not manly for a man to say pretty, but I just can't help myself.
That sounds like a really good way to spend your money. Now, we have one last question for you, Stanley. And you had a lot of bad experiences at Camp Green Lake. Were there any experiences that you rather enjoyed?
Well, I did have some good experiences. Like, perhaps all the friends I made. They were mean to me at first, but then we kind of started getting along. And it was also, I had a lot of fun teaching Hector how to read.
Well, it was great having you here, Stanley. I hope you can come some other time. Okay, guys, our next guest is going to be Hector Zeroni. He'll be coming up right after this break. See ya.
Tonight on History Comes Alive, you will hear a fascinating story of a local legend, Madame Zeroni. I've been studying Madame Zeroni for over 13 years. In one story, she placed a curse on a family, and that caused a string of bad luck. Tonight on History Comes Alive.
Our next guest you've heard a little bit about from our last guest, Stanley. Well, here he is, Hector Zeroni.
Hey, bro. It's nice to be here. Nice place you got going on.
Well, I hear your friends call you Zero. May I call you Zero?
Oh, yeah, Zero. Totally. I love that name.
Well, I heard that you ended up in Camp Green Lake, too. So, how did you end up there?
Well, I apparently stole the shoes that Stanley was accused of stealing. But then, the next day, I stole another pair of shoes and got caught that time.
Wow, that's some coincidence. How did having Stanley as a friend affect your life?
Oh yeah. Well, he basically helped me find my mother. He taught me how to read. He was an amazing teacher, by the way. Yeah, and he is just an awesome person.
Wow, that's quite a good reason to like him. But to be honest, who's the better digger?
Seriously? That's a good idea of a question. Obviously, me.
Well, actually, I believe you because I heard that, well, you were helping Stanley dig his holes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, why'd you help Stanley dig his holes?
Oh, yeah, right. Well, the reason I helped him dig his holes was because he taught me how to read, and the least I could do is help him dig his holes because I could tell that he needed help with holes because he was like the last one every single day to finish digging his hole.
One last question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how was your life before and after Camp Green Lake?
Well, probably before I would give it a 2 because I didn't have a mom and, well, I did, but I couldn't find her, and also because I was living outside when it was cold, and probably after I would give it a 9 because I have a mom and a house and a friend like Stanley.
Well, thanks for coming in here today. It's really been nice knowing you. And, well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have. And join us next time when we speak to Mr. Sir live in prison. Goodbye.
I've been studying Madame Zeroni for over 13 years. I've learned so much about her. I've heard that she placed a curse. I messed up.
Okay, and we're back. Our next guest, you've heard a little bit about from a little.
Are you recording?
Yes.
There is one question left. One last question. On a scale of 1 to 10. Stop! You made me laugh. She's like.
No, but that's how he started. We were like 1.
Well, don't make fun of him back though. No, like.
Okay.